This is a story of 4 dragons. Black Dragon was very, very lazy, and all he wanted to do was stop and have naps. Long Dragon, well, he was greedy, and all he wanted to do was have lots and lots of snacks. Pearl Dragon, she was always on the go, whizzing here, there and everywhere, never stopping to relax. And Yellow Dragon, well, she was always into everybody's business. She was nosy and bossy. She was a bit of a battle axe. Now, these 4 dragons, they lived in the sea, and the land at the time had no rivers and no lakes, and it was their job to oversee the people on the land and report back to the Jade Emperor in his palace. Now, one morning, the Yellow Dragon was out doing her morning rounds, checking up on everyone as she liked to do, and she was flying about, and she looked down and she noticed there was something a little bit different in the air. The people were not in the fields. The children were not by the well, and there was not so much laughter in the air. She flew down low to have a look around. There's something wrong, she thought, and then she looked at the ground. It's very, very dry, she said. I wonder why. And as she was flying, she came to a mountain, and around that mountain was curled Black Dragon. And Black Dragon was having a little snooze. And Yellow Dragon said, "Hey, wake up, lazy scales." And Black Dragon said, "Oh, I wasn't asleep, I was just resting my eyes." "Never mind that," said Yellow Dragon. "Have you noticed anything wrong with the land, anything strange or different?" "Can't say that I have," said Black Dragon. "Sorry." And Yellow Dragon said, "Fine," and off she flew. Black Dragon had a big stretch of his wings, oof, and got up and decided to do a little bit of flying around. So off he flew. Now, he didn't fly as fast as Yellow Dragon. He didn't really like to do anything fast. And as he was flying, he felt a little bit sleepy, and he looked up and he saw that the sun was bright in the sky. And Black Dragon thought it was just the right kind of scenario, that the conditions that he liked to have a good old nap in his favourite field where the grass was really nice and spongy. So Black Dragon flew off to his favourite field, but when he got there, the field wasn't there. He flew down to the ground and he realised he was actually in the right place, but there was something wrong. Just like Yellow Dragon said, the ground was hard and dry, and Black Dragon wondered why. And just at that moment he spied Long Dragon prowling across the land, chasing a gazelle that hadn't noticed him yet. Black Dragon called out, "Oi, Long Dragon!" And the gazelle heard Black Dragon, and off she darted. Long Dragon whipped around with a spike in his tail. "What did you do that for? That was my lunch. I'm hungry." And Black Dragon said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just, I wondered if you'd noticed anything different about the land, anything wrong." Long Dragon said, "No, I haven't. Now I'm hungry, excuse me." And off he went to find a snack. And he went to all his favourite haunts. He went to the fields, he went to the hills, he went to the prairies, but he could not find a snack anywhere. There was nothing in the fields or the hills or the prairies, nothing to eat at all. And Long Dragon flew down low to the ground and realised there was nothing to eat for him, because there was nothing to eat for them. All the grass had dried up and all the crops had stopped growing. Long Dragon sniffed the ground. It was very, very dry. He wondered why. Black Dragon was right, there was something wrong, and just at that moment, Pearl Dragon whizzed through the sky on her morning acrobatic routine. Long Dragon called up to Pearl Dragon, "Hey, Pearl Dragon!" Pearl Dragon had already whizzed by, but she stopped, put on the brakes, and did 2 loop-the-loops and came back to Long Dragon. "Yes, what can I do for you?" she said. "Have you noticed anything strange about the land?" said Long Dragon. "Anything wrong or different?" "No," said Pearl Dragon. "Can't say that I have. Excuse me." And off she flew to do loop-the-loops in figures of 8 in the sky. And when she had finally finished her routine, she slowed down. And when she slowed down, she looked around, and saw that there was something different, something wrong. The land was very, very dry. Pearl Dragon wondered why, and she put on the brakes, turned around and flew back to the sea, where she found Black Dragon, Long Dragon and Yellow Dragon. And Pearl Dragon joined them. And all 4 dragons agreed there was something wrong, something different, something strange. The land was very, very dry. And Yellow Dragon said, well, we must do something about this. I have a plan. The other dragons were relieved because she always had a plan. She said, we shall investigate. Step 1. We will all go in different directions and see how far this dryness goes. So that's what they did. Black Dragon flew to the north, and he flew and he flew and he flew until he started to feel a bit tired, and he spied a really nice looking big oak tree, and he thought he'd just lay down and have a little nap and then do the rest later. And Long Dragon, well, he flew to the east, and he flew and he flew and he flew, but then he spied the gazelle from earlier in the story, and his tummy rumbled, and he thought, well, I'll just stop and have a snack. So off he went for his snack. And Pearl Dragon, well, Pearl Dragon's what you might call an overachiever. She flew and she flew and she flew all the way to the south, and she saw everything there was to see in the south. But she kept on flying. She flew under the earth all the way up until she got to the north. And then she saw everything there was to see in the north. And then she wasn't done. She carried on and she went to the east, and she saw everything there was to see in the east, and she kept on going and going and going and going and going and going until she got to the west. And she saw everything there was in the west. And she also saw Yellow Dragon. And Yellow Dragon and Pearl Dragon came back to the sea and met with Black Dragon and Long Dragon. And the 4 dragons realised that this dryness went all the way around the world. Everywhere was dry. And Yellow Dragon said, well, this must be the Jade Emperor. He must have not sent any rain. And Black Dragon said, well, maybe he was going to send some rain, but he just hasn't woken up yet. And Long Dragon said, or maybe he's going to send some rain after lunch. And Pearl Dragon said, oh, maybe he's just really, really busy and he hasn't got round to it. And Yellow Dragon said, well, step 2 of the plan. We shall go up to the Jade Emperor's palace and remind him to send the rain. Okay, good idea. And Black Dragon said, can we do it after a nap? And Long Dragon said, can we maybe have some lunch first? And Pearl Dragon, well, she wasn't wasting any time. She jumped up into the sky and shouted to the others, last one to the Jade Emperor's house is on seaweed duty. Well, there is nothing that gets the dragons motivated more than seaweed duty. So all the dragons flew into the sky and flew to the Jade Emperor's house, and you can probably guess that the last one there was Black Dragon, because he was a little bit slow and he was a little bit grumpy when he got there. Now, the Jade Emperor's palace was at the ends of the earth, and the Jade Emperor lived there with all his armies. And the Jade Emperor was in charge of the world, but he had also just discovered a new game. It was a great game, and the Jade Emperor was very good at it. This game was a word game, and you had letters on little discs, and you put them together to make words. Now, the Jade Emperor had spent 3 hours getting his new word. Sun, said the Jade Emperor, and all the people in the palace applauded. What a wonderful word, sire. Fantastic, so complicated. And the master of the points called out 164 points. And the Jade Emperor nodded and smiled. He was very, very good at this game. Whatever word he came up with, he always got the maximum points. And he was just looking at his letters to see what else he could make when the doors flew open and in came the 4 dragons. And the Yellow Dragon bowed down and came forward and said, Jade Emperor, could we have a moment